Picture this. A man's song is so beautiful that trees uproot themselves to follow him. Wild beasts become gentle as lambs, and even stones weep at his melody. This is the power of Orpheus, the greatest musician who ever lived. In ancient Greece, music wasn't just entertainment. It was magic, a divine gift, a spiritual force. The Greeks believed that certain mortals possessed abilities that could move the very fabric of reality. Orpheus was the son of Apollo, god of music and poetry, and the muse Calliope. His lyre, crafted by the gods themselves, could charm anything that drew breath. Orpheus lived in Thrace, where his music brought harmony to all creation. But even the most gifted soul needs love. He found it in Eurydice, a beautiful wood nymph whose grace matched his own artistry. Their love was legendary, pure, and seemed destined for eternal happiness. On their wedding day, joy filled the air. Guests celebrated, flowers bloomed brighter, and even the wind seemed to dance to unheard melodies. But fate had darker plans. As Eurydice wandered through a meadow, a venomous snake struck her heel. The poison spread quickly, and within moments, the bride was dead. Orpheus's grief shattered the world around him. His songs became lamentations so heartbreaking that nymphs wept, gods paused in their duties, and nature itself mourned. Rivers stopped flowing to listen. Mountains cracked under the weight of his sorrow, but tears couldn't bring back the dead. Then Orpheus made a decision that would echo through eternity. He would descend into Hades, the realm of the dead, and retrieve his beloved. No living mortal had ever returned from the Underworld, but love gave him courage that defied death itself. Armed only with his lyre, Orpheus began the treacherous journey downward. He passed through dark caves, crossed the river Styx, and faced Cerberus, the three-headed guardian of Hades. When the monstrous dogs snarled and prepared to attack, Orpheus played his lyre. The beast's three heads drooped, enchanted by melodies of longing and loss. Deeper he went, through fields of asphodel where ordinary souls wandered endlessly. His music brought them momentary peace from their eternal emptiness. Even the Furies, those terrible spirits of vengeance, stopped their torments to listen. Finally, Orpheus reached the throne room of Hades and Persephone, king and queen of the dead. No mortal had ever stood before them and lived. But Orpheus didn't come to conquer. He came to plead. He played the most beautiful song ever heard in those dark halls. He sang of love that transcends death, of beauty that illuminates even the deepest darkness, of a heart willing to face impossible odds. His melody spoke of mortal love so pure it could move immortal hearts. Tears ran down Persephone's face. She remembered her own separation from the world above. Even Hades, lord of the dead, felt something stir in his ancient heart. The entire underworld fell silent, listening to this unprecedented music. Hades spoke, "Your song has moved us, mortal. We grant your request. Eurydice may follow you back to the world of the living. But hear this condition. You must not look back at her until you both reach the surface. One glance behind you, and she returns to us forever." Orpheus agreed immediately. What was one simple condition against eternal happiness? He turned and began the long ascent, hearing Eurydice's beloved footsteps behind him. Through the dark passages they climbed, past sleeping monsters and wandering souls. But doubt crept into Orpheus's mind like poison. What if the gods were deceiving him? What if Eurydice wasn't really there? What if she were struggling and needed help? The closer they came to sunlight, the more his anxiety grew. At the very threshold of the upper world, with sunlight just steps away, Orpheus's love overcame his reason. He turned to ensure Eurydice was safe. She was there, beautiful and real, reaching toward him with love in her eyes. But as sunlight touched his face, she began to fade. "Farewell," she whispered, and vanished back into the depths forever. Orpheus had lost her twice. His second song of grief was so powerful that it shattered his own heart. He wandered the earth, inconsolable, until Maenads tore him apart in their frenzy. Even in death, his severed head continued singing as it floated down the river. This tale reveals eternal truths about human nature. Love drives us to impossible acts of courage, yet our weaknesses destroy what we most cherish. Doubt, impatience, and lack of faith become our greatest enemies. The story reminds us that some gifts come with prices we must be strong enough to pay. Orpheus and Eurydice have inspired countless artists, from ancient pottery to modern films, because their story captures the beautiful tragedy of human love. For more powerful love myths and legends, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mythic Narratives Hub.